You are standing in a dry riverbed in what is now South Africa. It is 70,000 years before the present. The sun has not rained here in 3 years. Your tribe has 50 people left. Your grandfather remembers when there were hundreds. On the horizon, there is nothing, no other humans, no other tribes, no one. You are looking at the last surviving members of your entire species, and you do not even know it. But let us rewind, because this story does not start here. It starts with a question that sounds simple, but is actually one of the strangest, most unsettling facts about being human. Why did every human alive today come from Africa? Now, you would assume the story is obvious. Humans started in Africa, then spread out across the world, right? Simple. But that is not what happened, not even close. Here is the thing nobody tells you. Every non-African human being on this planet, right now, all 7 billion of you are not descended from a continent. You are descended from a single group, one small, desperate tribe that almost died out. And if they had died, you would not exist. This is not a story about how humans conquered the world. This is a story about how humans nearly lost it, and how a handful of survivors in one corner of Africa are the reason you are here to hear this. So let us go back, way back, and you will never look at your own skin, your own DNA, or your own existence the same way again. There is a concept in population genetics called the molecular clock. Basically, DNA mutates at a roughly predictable rate, like a tree growing rings or a clock ticking. If you compare the DNA of two living people, you can count their differences and work backward to the moment their family trees last merged. And when geneticists did this, they found something extraordinary. They found a single woman. Every single person alive today has her DNA in their cells. They call her mitochondrial Eve. But here is the part that should bother you. Mitochondrial Eve did not live 1,000,000 years ago. She did not live 100,000 years ago. She lived maybe 150,000 to 200,000 years ago. And she lived in Africa. But here is the real kicker. Mitochondrial Eve was not the first human. She was not the mother of humanity. She was the survivor. All the other family trees that existed alongside hers have died out. And the same is true for a man they call Y chromosomal Adam. He lived around the same time, in Africa. All men today descend from him, but he and mitochondrial Eve did not know each other. They were separated by tens of thousands of years. They are not the Adam and Eve from the Bible. They are the last survivors of a genetic apocalypse. Now you might be thinking, wait, if we all came from two people, that means we are all inbred. Good question. But that is not how the math works. The genetic bottleneck was not two people. It was a population collapse, down to maybe 1,000 to 10,000 breeding individuals. And the question is, what happened to them? What killed almost everyone? The leading theory is climate chaos. Scientists suspect a super-eruption. The Toba volcano in Sumatra, 74,000 years ago. It blew its top so violently that it triggered a volcanic winter. Global temperatures dropped, rain stopped, the forests died, the animals died, and the humans starved. Now, some geneticists debate whether Toba was the sole cause of the bottleneck. But the evidence is clear. Something squeezed our species through a needle's eye. And that needle's eye was in Africa. So that is where we were, a few thousand survivors, in one corner of Africa. Now here is where it gets really strange. Those survivors did not stay put. A small group of them, maybe just 150 people, left Africa. And that, right there, is the moment you were born. Every single person outside of Africa today is descended from that one boat, that tiny group, that crossing. But here is the part that should really make you sit up. As they walked out of Africa, they did not walk into an empty world. They walked into a world that already had humans. other human species, Neanderthals, Denisovans, Erectus, and they were not just there, they interbred. If you are not African, you carry Neanderthal DNA. Between 1 and 4% of your genetic code came from a completely different human species. Melanesians and Aboriginal Australians carried Denisovan DNA as well, up to 5%. So the Out of Africa story is not a clean replacement. It was not like the new humans showed up and the old ones just vanished. It was a tangle. A messy, intimate, desperate mixing of species. Neanderthals and Denisovans had been outside Africa for hundreds of thousands of years. They had adapted to the cold. They had larger brains. They had tools. And yet they are gone, and we are still here. But not because we were superior, not because we were smarter or stronger or better. The best theory is that we got lucky. Our ancestors came from a huge, diverse population in Africa. They had deep genetic reserves. They had variety when the climate turned on them. Some of them survived. The Neanderthals and Denisovans. They were tiny populations, inbred, low diversity. When the climate got brutal, they had nowhere to turn. And this is where the story gets a final, fitting twist. African populations today are the most genetically diverse in the world. There is more genetic diversity within a single African population, say between a Kenyan and a South African, than there is between a European and an East Asian. Africa was the library, the reserve, the backup copy. When the world froze, when the volcano erupted, when the other human species died out, the survivors were always the ones with African roots, because Africa kept the diversity. Africa kept the human family alive. Think about that for a second. You are here. You are reading this. You exist because a few thousand people in one corner of Africa did not die, because their children's children walked out of Africa, and because the world they walked into already had other humans. Humans who are now ghosts in our DNA. The Out of Africa story is not about triumph. It is not about conquest. It is about a species on the brink, a lucky break, and all the other human stories that had to end so ours could begin. So the next time you look at yourself in the mirror, remember, you are not just a person. You are the descendant of survivors of the last tribe, the tribe that almost died, the tribe that left Africa, and the tribe that is now, against all odds, all that is left of our kind. But here is the thing. If a few thousand people in Africa were the last survivors of our species, that means every single one of us is a family reunion. Even the people you cannot stand. Even the person who cut you off in traffic this morning. Same tribe, same bottleneck. Same desperate, improbable, one in a million survival story. And that is the strangest, most beautiful thing about being human. We are all the same tribe. We just forgot. There is a whole world of these little human mysteries. And if you are curious about being human, stick around, because we have only just begun to dig.